China's Commerce Ministry has issued a firm and pointed response to the United States, urging the complete cancellation of what it calls the wrong practice of reciprocal tariffs. This statement came shortly after former U.S. President Donald Trump announced a tariff exemption for smartphones, laptops, and various consumer electronics, a move that, while seen as a minor concession, falls far short of addressing the broader trade concerns Beijing has consistently raised. In a strongly worded message, the ministry called on the U.S. to correct its mistakes and return to the path of mutual respect and fair trade. Using a symbolic Chinese proverb, the spokesperson said, "The bell on a tiger's neck can only be untied by the person who tied it," clearly signaling that only the U.S. has the power to reverse the damage caused by its aggressive tariff strategy. Despite the exclusions, Beijing emphasized that the vast majority of Chinese goods are still burdened by a harsh 145% blanket duty, especially after being excluded from a temporary 90-day tariff pause. The Chinese government remains cautious, stating it is still evaluating the practical implications of the exemptions and whether they reflect a sincere shift in U.S. trade policy or are merely tactical. Beyond the bilateral dispute, China has also called on the global community to stand united against what it describes as Trump's unilateralism and economic bullying, positioning itself as a champion of multilateral trade and cooperation in the face of rising protectionism. In a separate statement issued earlier, China made it clear that it will not back down in the face of economic pressure. If the U.S. continues to play the tariff numbers game, China will ignore it, the ministry declared. If the U.S. insists on continuing to substantially infringe on China's interests, China will resolutely counterattack and fight to the end. This rhetoric underscores Beijing's growing confidence in weathering the trade war as it seeks to minimize dependence on American markets by strengthening ties with other global partners and reinforcing its domestic industries. As the U.S.-China trade tensions persist, it's clear that both sides remain locked in a high-stakes economic standoff with far-reaching global consequences.